In today's video, I show you guys how to actually play around with the new Minecraft heads on top of NoteBlocks feature. And I'll also show you guys how to get all the different heads to actually play around with the NoteBlocks. So let's get into it. Now, starting off, to actually do this, you're going to have to be on one of the newer versions. I currently am on 1.19.3. And that's where I would recommend you try this, since that is the most stable version as of right now. And obviously, if you're watching this in the future, there'll probably be other versions that you can try this on, but let's start off with 1.19.3. Now, to get to 1.19.3, there are a few steps that differ from the normal way of getting on these new releases. Now, first of all, what you're going to have to do is simply select the latest release on the Minecraft launcher. Now, this will either be here, or if it is not here, then you'll simply go to Installations, New Installation. Now either click latest release or whichever says 1.19.3. Then you can obviously choose an icon and name it as well. Once you have done that, all you have to do now is simply click on create, and you can either select it right over here, or what you can do is select it in the tab right here. As you can see, now just click on play. Now once you're in here, you will have to go through some extra steps when creating a world. Now, first of all, when you're in this new world selection, all you're going to have to do is simply click on data packs. Within these data packs, you will see these two updates. Now, this is update 1.20 and the bundle. Now, the bundle is not confirmed yet to be in the 1.20 update, but you can enable it if you want to. But the main thing for the NoteBlocks is going to be update 1.20, and you're going to want to select that when creating any new world. And I'm also just going to add the bundle in since it is a cool feature. Then click on done, proceed, and now you can create your whole new world. But obviously, if you're just trying to test out the new features and don't want to grind for it all, just simply change this to creative mode and allow cheats to be on. Once you're in this world, all you simply have to do is place down a note block and then put a head on top of it. And now you can do things like this. As you can see, it plays the sounds of any mob head that's on top of it. And these get more and more interesting as we go down. So that was a zombie. Up next is the skeleton. Now, cool thing about this is these change every time you click them. As you can see, it plays a whole different sound whenever you click it, and it just cycles through a variety of sounds that come from this one mob. Next up is the creeper, and this one is actually perfect to troll your friends with, and can be used for a lot of creative builds. As you can see, that one can be really interesting. Then the wither skeleton. This one's just pretty basic. And the newest head that actually was added to the game is the piglin head, which makes this sound, which is pretty nice. And then the ender dragon head, which by far is my favorite sound on a note block. And this can be really interesting to how you use this in trolling or even just making some really insane builds. And then you might be wondering what happens when you put a basic player head onto one of these note blocks. Well, unfortunately, it does nothing. As of right now, when you click on it, it will do nothing to the note block. So I doubt they will ever actually add this feature where it does something, but if they were to, they might add it be like mining, or just breaking some blocks or walking on them. But I really do doubt they would add something for Steve since he does not have any voice lines. And this also applies for custom heads, they do not have anything. But once again, this is still a pretty cool feature, although you do not have the player head functionality here. But how do you actually get all of these heads? Well, for at least 5 of them, it's pretty basic. Now, if you do not know already, you actually just get a charged creeper to explode these mobs. Now, the easiest way to do this right now is to simply get a trident with channeling on it. You can also get loyalty, so that's easier to do this, and hit a creeper whilst it is thundering. So, just like so, we can get a charged creeper. And then we want it to light up a mob, let's say the zombie. And then we grab a flint and steel. Obviously, if you're in survival mode, you can just normally ignite it, but with the flint and steel, it's just easier to do in creative mode. And as you can see, a zombie head is right there. Now, if you actually want to try to do multiple mobs, you sadly cannot. So if I try to do a skeleton, a zombie, and a creeper, and then I just add in a creeper just like so, we ignite the charged one, and it explodes, but only one head will drop. Now this is only in Java Edition. On Bedrock I'm actually unsure, but I do believe it drops multiple, but I may be wrong about that. But just be aware of this when doing this with the charged creepers, that you can only get one mob head. So make sure that you're doing it with the mob that you want, and you just don't have multiple mobs flooding it in. That could accidentally give you the wrong head. But that is just a really easy way to get these 5 heads, but mainly these 3. Now, for these other 2, you will have to either transport a charged creeper into the nether, or get these back into the overworld. Although that may be hard for the piglin, as it will turn into a zombified piglin. So just be aware of that. You will either have to do it very quickly, or just bring a charged creeper into the nether, which may be easier. Now, obviously, for the wither skeletons, you will actually have to find a fortress, and for piglins, you'll try to have to find a nether waste biome, which both of them should be relatively close to the same area, just like so. But remember, it's going to be hard trying to get a whole charge creeper, especially in survival mode. But as you can see, since we have commands, I can simply just do it like so. And then if I were to light them up, it will drop the new piglin head. One more thing to note about wither skeletons is if you kill them, they will actually have a chance of dropping their head. Especially if you have something like looting 3 on a sword. That'll just give you an increased chance of them dropping a head when you kill them, so you will actually not need a charge creeper on this one, although that method works as well, and is probably more reliable. But if you have the time and want to go through the effort of killing a bunch of wither skeletons, then you can do that way as well. But as you can see, after a while, it does drop it. And now lastly, for the Ender Dragon head. Now, the Ender Dragon head is by far the hardest one to get, considering that you can't just charge Creeper and Ender Dragon, although that would actually make it considerably harder. All you simply have to do is go into the End biome, then you will have to kill the Ender Dragon. Although that is not necessarily required, it's just easier to kill the Ender Dragon to get the portal that leads you to the End Cities. Now, you could make a redstone flying machine, but those are considerably harder to make, and will actually take a lot more time to get there than simply just killing the Ender Dragon. Now, when finding an End City, you're actually going to need one with a ship. And this is because only the ship structure will have the Ender Dragon head on the front of it, just like so. So you're going to need to just build all the way up to one of these, or try to get a shulker to hit you up here. But once you're here, just try to go to the front and probably place a few blocks around it so it doesn't fall all the way down and potentially into the void. And then you got the Ender Dragon head. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have fun playing around with all of these new Noteblock features. And try to make the best builds or even just troll your friends. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more of this and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.